Hey everybody, it's Charles. We're back, and I'm going to jump right on in. Such a unique and potentially destabilizing time we now live and experience. And to have the misfortune of being labeled selfish, or you're so selfish, and unless you're truly self-absorbed, it isn't a character trait one would like ascribe to themselves. But and if by it they meant one that is self-motivated, or self-governed, or finally self-policed, then it becomes a welcome badge of honor any would love to acquire. I continue. This video depicts for me one overwhelmed by unique forces that appear as one thing, but their trace presents as something else. And I'm calling this offering Rescue Me, 4S style. Here to educate, inspire, and observational purposes only, esoteric in nature. I begin. I burst into the room by breaking down the door. And at the other side of the door stood a person, feminine in nature. I looked at them and asked, was this door locked? I can now see that it was, as the deadbolt remains in the locked position. In front of me is another door opening. I walk in, and there is a railroad length of dressers, like chest of drawers. I instinctively reach between a set of the dressers to make an opening for me to enter into this space further, as the room was very long. And easily 3 to 5 feet remained behind these dressers. So I stepped into the room and I instinctively look left, and I see a girl, neatly dressed, just like for Easter. But this dress was black with a white frilly trim at its chest and at the end of the length of sleeves, as it was long sleeved. I would say she was not older than the preteens. She was non-white, but multicultural. Fair skin, black hair, which was smooth but well done. My first reaction was a modest wave of the hand to speak hello. And suddenly, the question popped in my mind. Why is she locked away and monitored? And I woke up. I looked at the time and noted that it was now 12:36 a.m. on the 30th of June 2024. And I wrote in my notes, was someone being held against their will? Sidebar. My chain of events of all that took place on the night of 6/29 are now being given to you in reverse order, as this dream I had before seemed to connect to what I'm telling you now. Let me explain. On the 29th, as I drove along a patch of road, I pulled over to parallel park, just along a curb. After a moment, I decided to turn the car around by using the embankment next to me. And as I bagged the car up and into this embankment, a squad car, or police car if you will, whisked right in front of me, just to the left as I sat at the steering wheel. An officer jumped out of the car with his firearm in hand, in position no doubt. And without a word, he proceeded to fire off round after round after round. No contact was felt or observed, but a simple response was made from me to whom I have to do. And I awakened out of this sleep, or this dreamscape, which concluded at 10:56 p.m. on the 29th of June. Before my dream with the girl, I found under monitor and seemingly locked away. In other words, sidebar, I dreamed this dream first. It hadn't reached midnight yet. Now we're into midnight and I had to dream about the girl. So the shooting from the officer first, unwarranted, without words, just shooting at me, round after round, and now the girl. I continue. As I mused on this dream while prepping to jump in the tub, I could hear Diana Ross singing, "Rescue Me." I continue. My subject, or this subject title, became Rescue Me 4S style, which represents for me If you see something, say something. That's where the 4S comes in. See something, say something. As we go through our sometimes hurried or rushed lives, life sometimes be lifing. We occasionally see signs of trouble and, unfortunately, lawlessness. Sometimes involvement is the only way to usher in change, positive change. Yes, anarchy is a way of living, but is it one you want for yourself and or your children or your children's children? I continue. The baton concerning this child resides in my hand, and I thought it prudent to get the information out so possibly another could progress this baton further to effect positive change. To note, I wrote, the place where this child was appeared two-level in nature, or a main level and a basement. The door I busted down on entry to the room with the girl was immediately to my right. The girl was left, and seemingly among other things in the room. I'll end with this. For who knoweth if we weren't chosen for such a time as this? The gifts and the abilities given by the Most High abound in so many. And at our life's end or our journey's conclusion, the question should not be, why did you bury what I gave you? Ashe? We are lifecentral.org. I am Charles. And as always, thanks for your time, and be blessed and prosperous.